Hi, welcome to this lesson. So in this lesson, we are going to be looking at more of our math functions. Okay, so let's look at something called the absolute function, which is used to return the absolute number value of a number, which is the positive value of a number. So if it's a negative value, it will return a positive value. If it's a positive value, it'll return the same value. So let's do it. It's written as math dot abs like this, and inside of the parenthesis you have to give the number that you want to return the positive value for, and if you refresh like this, so you'll get your number. But on the other hand, if this was plus 15 like this, what would I get? I would get the same number, exact same number. So that's the math.abs function. And similarly, you have a lot of other functions like the sine function, the cos function. You know all of those from your math, right? So math.sine, we can find the sine value. Sorry about that. It's just sin. We can find the sine value of 2 sin. Okay, and then we can find the cos value of 2 like this, and then we can find the log value, the logarithmic value of the number 2 like this. Any number, you can give any number in here, and then we can find the tan of if I give tan of 45 or something, I'm gonna get 1. See, 1 point something. So if I give tan of 90, I'm gonna get -1. So that's one thing. So you can find all of these things, and you can also find the minimum and maximum values of a number of a set of numbers like this. Okay, for example, I can do it like math.min like this, and inside of this I can give a bunch of numbers like this: 10, 25, -50, 50, 100, 0. If I give a bunch of numbers like this, it'll return if I let's say I assign it to something called assign it to a variable called minimum. So I can it'll return a value, return the minimum of this, and it'll assign it to the variable minimum. You can assign every math function to a variable if that's what you want, or I can directly put this in the console as well. That works as well. See, -50 is the minimum. On the other hand, see, and min, it has to be completely small. Okay, on the other hand, if I were to use max on the same thing, I'm going to get 100 because that was the maximum in here. Okay, so so those two are your minimum and maximum function. Okay, all right. And there is also something else very important called the random function, random method. It's used to generate a random number. So every time you run this function, you'll get a random number. Okay, but the only problem is the random number is only from 0 to 1, so only decimal point numbers. Okay, you only get decimal point numbers from here. So let's see how it works. This is how you have to write it: math.random, just like this, nothing inside the parentheses. If I put this inside the console like this, and if I refresh, see, I'm getting 0.12 like this, and if I refresh again, I'm getting 0.78 something, and if I refresh again, I'm getting 0.91 something, if I refresh again, I'm getting 0.96 something. So it's complete 0.01 something, so it's completely random. Okay, but as you can see from here, you only get decimal numbers here, with too many digits like this. Okay, so if you want to get whole numbers, that is integers, you need to use the following formulae. Okay, so there are a lot of formula that you can there's a formula where you can convert all of these decimal to an integer. So the first one is, so if you want whole numbers, to get whole numbers, that is 1 to 10 like this, you can multiply the decimal by 10 first. So let's do that. Let's multiply whatever I get here by 10 like this. Okay, and let's look at the output. There you go. I'm getting 6.39, if 8.6. So I'm getting something that is not 0 point something. Okay. All right. But as you can see, the output is still has a lot of decimal points. Okay. So what would you do with that? So what you can do is you can floor these numbers. Okay. Next, you can floor the result. You can use the math.floor function in here. Do you want me to assign this to a variable? So I'll assign this to a variable, okay? So you can see how it works, and then I'll do a console.log. Otherwise, it might just get a lot congested. Okay, so the entire result in here, okay, this entire result math.random into 10, I'll get something like 7 point something, some 8 point something something. So I'm going to floor it. So if I floor it, I'm going to get the floor value of that. So now I'm getting a whole number. Do you see that? Okay, now I'm getting a whole number. So, but as you can see here, there's no 10 in here. Okay, it only goes from 0 to 9 like this. Okay, because we are flooring it. Okay, so there's no ceiling at all. So since there's no ceilings, it's going to be from 0 to 9 like this. So if you want to get from 1 to 10, you can either seal it. You can do a ceiling like this, and you're probably going to get 10. See, you're getting 10. So you can do that, or you can just add 1 to this entire thing afterwards. Okay, so if you add 1 to the entire thing, you're still going to get 1 to 10. See, there's no 0 now, and there was a 10. You saw a 10, right? See, 10. Okay, so that's how that works. And if you want to go from 1 to 100 like this, you can just multiply that by 100 and then float it, and then you can add 1. And if I go here, there you go. It's going from 1 to 100 now. Alright, and similarly from 1, if you want to go from 1 to 1000, you can give 1000 like this. Okay, so that's how your random method works. It's a very interesting method, so you can play around with it to get different values. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.